Damian Wayne has recently been restored to life. The boy stands over his sleeping father. He wakes him up and tells the Dark Knight it is time to go out on patrol. Damian is eager, but Alfred reminds the boy of his new operative words: property damage. In the Gotham City financial district, Batman begins to thwart an armed robbery. One of the criminals attacks with 2 assault rifles, but Damian says he's got this covered. The boy easily deflects the bullets with his now super-powered body, walks up to the criminal, and crushes the guns with his bare hands. He then slams the crook into the car. Batman quickly intervenes and says that's enough, but Damian wants to fly home. But Batman refuses and says that after what he just pulled, Damian will not be patrolling for the rest of the week. Robin feels like he's being punished for having powers, but Batman says his new abilities are making him reckless. When they return, Damian goes to bed and has gruesome nightmares of his mother and grandfather. They remind him that his brothers are crying and need help. Damian wakes up screaming and accidentally launches himself through the ceiling into Alfred's room. Alfred asks if the boy needs anything, but Damian just wants to go out and be alone. Damian visits the graves at the manor, and Alfred notices Robin is carving his mother's name into the marble with his finger. Robin flies off, and though Batman says he can track the boy, Alfred recommends he be given some space. Damian goes to the place where he was born, a lab on a remote island. He trashes the lab in seconds and flies deep into the ocean abyss. Batman and Alfred, who are tracking the boy, notice the speed Damian just flew at is far beyond their power test metrics. Robin arrives in Atlantis and has a talk with Aquaman. Talia al Ghul created many monsters in her attempts to make Damian. In a battle with the League of Assassins, the failed experiments wound up in Atlantean custody. On the grounds that they are Robin's family, the king releases the test subjects and even helps him get them back to the remote island where they were born. Robin explains to the test subjects they are free and gives them the island so they have somewhere they can live in peace. The boy quietly flies off to an uncertain future. At the Iceberg Casino, the Penguin yells at his men. In the Gotham sewers, 2 city workers are suddenly attacked by Killer Croc. At Robinson Park, a child's birthday party is being robbed. One by one, these villains disappear in a red and green blur until they are all gathered together in a dark room. They hear a voice, and soon Damian Wayne lights a road flare and reveals himself to the bad guys. Killer Croc gleefully grabs the boy and thanks him for getting rid of all the witnesses so they can beat Robin to death without difficulty. But things have changed. Damian is unfazed by Killer Croc's super strength, asking what these villains could possibly know about death. He decides to give them a more practical demonstration of the new status quo in Gotham. He ties up his captors and begins to fly high above the city. He says the villains might be feeling a little cold because they are now 30,000 feet above the ground. Damian warns the villains that crossing the line in Gotham and murdering innocent people will lead the boy to cross the line with them between atmosphere and space. Suddenly, something unknown happens to Damian, and he nearly drops the bad guys. As they hurtle towards the ground, Batman flies up in his plane and catches them, then orders Damian to land immediately. Later on, father and son go fishing together. Bruce asks Damian what he was trying to do, to which the boy replies he was just trying to make a point. After his father admits that they are only here because Alfred insisted, Robin asks about the origins of his powers, as both are a little worried that incident earlier could happen again. Batman isn't sure what happened exactly, but he believes that Talia used energies from the planet Apocalypse to power Damian's embryonic chambers. In the process, the Boy Wonder absorbed quite a bit of that energy during his creation, which remained dormant until Robin's resurrection infused the boy with the power of Darkseid's Omega Beams. The Wayne boy is surprised, as Batman has been leaving out some of these details in his earlier explanations of Damian's resurrection. When he wants to go home, Bruce says that Alfred wants them to return with at least one fish. Given the new situation, that's really no problem for the kid. In the next scene, Robin is being tested by his family in an attempt to fully understand his new powers. But Damian is getting bored with the relentless tests. Alfred is worried, as readings indicate that Robin's body experiences pain, but for some reason it is not sending that information to the boy's brain. Several nights later, the two are answering a call regarding a gang that has stolen military-grade equipment. Bruce reminds his son not to be too reliant and trusting of his powers. They can and will betray Damian, and all he'll have after that is his training and natural instincts to rely on. But Damian is not worried. With his father's help, Robin faced death and beat it. He can do anything at any time. Bruce gets frustrated, saying that shouldn't be the lesson to take away from all this. The boy can put death off and maybe even cheat it, but he'll never be able to beat it forever. Robin gets bored and irritated with this talk, so he jumps out of the Batmobile and proceeds to tear apart a stolen tank. The battle is quickly over, but Batman is frustrated with his son not listening. Damian shows everything is fine. He can't feel anything, even when he crushes the tank against his head. But Bruce replies that this isn't necessarily a good thing, and they need to figure these powers out first. The conversation is interrupted when Batman receives an alert from the Justice League. Bruce leaves and orders Robin to turn the criminals over to the authorities. Damian complies, but after decides to grab the bat signal in order to better scare the criminals while his father is gone. However, Robin is surprised to run into Bruce, who has changed his mind. Batman says he can come along to the Justice League, but then asks what he's doing with the spotlight. Damian doesn't have much of an explanation, so Batman says to put it back first and he'll wait for his son before they head out. Father and son soon arrive at the Watchtower, and though Robin tries to hide it, he's clearly excited over the visit. The boy is greeted by Superman and Shazam, but Damian brushes both heroes off and acts unimpressed by his surroundings. Batman asks what is going on, and Superman shows him that something has risen in Japan, and they are asking for help. Damian knows all about the site of the attack, which he refers to as Ghost Island. As they get ready to head out, Superman assumes Robin is just here to observe, but Bruce says that he wants his son to come with them, much to Damian's surprise. Pleased with this outcome, Robin and the rest of the team get ready to head out and save the day. High above a remote Japanese island, the Justice League, along with Damian Wayne, prepare to close in and save the day. At last minute, they are joined by Wonder Woman, who Superman happily welcomes along. They encounter a giant bug-like creature, but Batman says it is entirely cybernetic and orders Robin to unleash his full power on the machine before it gets loose on the Japanese mainland. Damian is happy to comply, but is nearly overpowered by the mechanical beast, until the boy Robin discovers that he has heat vision now too. Robin is able to use his new power to escape the giant's clutches and shoves a radio antenna into the robot's mouth. With the help of Shazam, the giant machine is badly damaged by lightning. The Justice League celebrates their victory, but Damian brushes it off and returns to the Batjet. When the boy leaves, Batman thanks Wonder Woman and Superman, revealing that the entire event was an elaborate hoax. The plan was to expose Damian to a safe situation where his powers could be drained without any risk to civilian life. But Bruce is not sure if the plan worked. He appreciates the help of his fellow heroes and thanks them for their time. Father and son return to the Batcave, and Damian is delighted at having just worked with the Justice League. The boy excitedly tells Alfred about everything, tossing the butler around as he acts out the confrontation, until he passes out at the dinner table from sheer exhaustion. Bruce tenderly puts his son to bed, and sees a note from Damian. Alfred and the older Wayne are happy to find that the boy has finished a remarkable portrait of the Batman family. As they talk, Bruce mentions how proud he is of Damian and his ability to remain calm and in control of his new powers on the last mission. The next morning, The young Wayne is shocked to find his powers are gone, and nearly falls out of his bedroom window in an attempt to fly. The boy is disappointed to learn that his powers have disappeared completely. Bruce says he isn't going to lie, and he isn't upset at this development, as he thinks it's for the best. But Robin laments that he could have been something truly incredible with those powers. Batman says that for now, being Damian Wayne will have to be good enough. The conversation is concluded when Alfred announces there is an emergency in Gotham. The butler activates the secret passage as father and son race down to the Batcave. They run past Titus and gear up, also racing by Batcow, until they arrive at the Batmobile. Father and son swing through the streets of Gotham, and looking over his son, returned to life and having learned so much about being a superhero, Bruce smiles, content with life and his boy. Hello and welcome to Comic Island. My name is Arden, and this is the complete story of Batman and Robin, Superpower. See, I wasn't really sure about making a collected video out of these 3 issues, but it felt worth bundling what little time a superpowered Robin was in action. I admit it was a little disappointing about how long this lasted, but given enough time to think about this, I do kind of like it. I prefer something short and sweet as opposed to really drawn out, so if that's the approach they wanted to take, and they did it as well as they did here, then I'm kind of okay with it. This really nicely highlighted the relationship between Bruce and Damian, and on the whole was pretty well drawn. That's all I really have to say. I enjoyed these comics and would recommend them, because like I said, they were a lot of fun and they had these nice sentimental father-son moments. You should check these out for yourself. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to let us know in the comments section below. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep reading comics.